Hello! Welcome back. I slept... I didn't go to bed on time yesterday because I had to do all kinds of shit with a group of people who are fucking idiots. So now I'm tired. Too tired to do Doom, which makes me sad because I was really looking forward to that because I really do like that. It is already hot in my room and it's not even 8 a.m. Actually, it's 5 past 8. But it's already warm in my room. It's already warm and humid. It's gonna stay this way until fucking Saturday. I don't want this, but I gotta. Oh, I forgot to turn on the music. It's cruising. Martyr. Like, maybe the point of these off-key tracks is that they, establish a different side of a character. I might not be doing this too much either, because my brain is just fucking dead. Oh, it's like, no! No! Not the video games. What the fuck does shardborn mean? But there's something interesting. Oh, please do not do that. Wait, here is the mirror next to this a little bit more official. Born on scaly wings. Huh. I get the feeling he doesn't quite understand what that means. I like how everyone just uses the fucking same definition, doesn't even bother explaining it. But it has to do with beetles, not with dragons. I guess he just looked up scaly wings and he didn't think about it. Oh yeah, it's scherfgedrag. That doesn't translate at all. It's also not a good insult. Like, it really... Like, he doesn't even have wings. So... How do you translate that? The point is, that do they even have that? Like, shardborn is... I like how some questions just come down to would they have this in 65 million years ago. Which is probably one of those questions that a lot of people... The funny thing is, he did do enough research to know that alligators do exist, but horses don't. For some reason, they know about monkeys. Even though I'm pretty sure around this time, most mammalian life is kind of... It's such an interesting thing, though, mass extinction. The concept of things just going, whoop! And then other things say, okay, I'm alive, I did fine. The main reason they did fine is because mammals are better suited for, like, temperature adjustments. I assume that's the main reason they survived. And they were also smaller. Like, they didn't need as much food, so they could survive better in the scavenging environments that were left behind. Like, there's a lot of reasons behind it. Those are the ones I can imagine on the spot. Maybe they're not even true. Maybe, like, reptiles did just fine. It's not the heat, it's or the cold and the black sun or anything. Although the black sun would probably fuck up most reptilian life. Like, the only reason I imagine he took shardborn is because of shardborn bastard. Like, it's got a nice little punch at the end, like, shardborn bastard. But I need to translate this. The funny thing is, translating swears is kind of stiff. So weird, isn't it? Insults. Fucking insults. It's just the only character who has a rage picture. That just defines everything, doesn't it? Like, the problem is, it's a very unusual swear, so it needs an unusual swear to replace it. So that everyone's like, what? Is that a swear? Like, if someone calls you something, then all you have is the verbal cues to go on. Like, their body language, or how they say it. But if you don't know the meaning, you don't know if it's a swear. Like, if I use Dutch swears, like if I call you cancer, that's not as impactful. Because I guess that's cultural charge. That's not like meaning. It's still freaking weird that language works like that, even though they're pretty close together. That having been, yeah. We don't even have the cancer crab. We just call it the. Wait, we have crab and we have lobster, don't we? What do we call it, lobster? Frick. I'm not that good with swearing either. Like, maybe she calls him a Charbor bastard because he's, like, aquatic and thus has those flaps? Maybe? That's the best I can think of. God, you see, this is what happens when I don't go to bed. Before or around, just very close to 11. My brain is just like, no, I don't want to wake up. Also, I noticed something very spooky. I woke up to my alarm sitting up. Apparently, I am sleep able to shut down my alarm, which is annoying and spooky. Actually, that's a good one. Let's just pursue that avenue of aquatic. Oh, I got a good one. There you go. Damien's like, why is Damien a man of few words? Like, he's already expressed that he doesn't like you because he thinks you're arrogant, because he thinks you're snobby, which again would make a nice character arc. But the thing that gets me is why. Like, the most is that he says, like, well, you don't know me. He does. He does know you. So he's an asshole. I think that's just the point. But he comes across as like someone who just doesn't want to deal with the situation. At the same time, he seems to abuse every possible situation he can. I mean, yes, he blackmails Anna, and Anna's kind of a bitch. She kind of has it coming. You can justify that. But on the other hand, he knows you're working with the police. Like, he knows you well enough to know your name. He probably knows you're working with the police. And he says, no, the police can go fuck off. Send an actual person with a cap on. What does that say about him? That he's so unwilling to cooperate with you. Or just he's an asshole. Or maybe he knows that he's going to lose his power over Anna if that happens. Like, he doesn't want to get too involved. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, you're blackmailing someone, you're actually inclined to stop the police, even though that's kind of the thing you're blackmailing them with? Ooh. I hope to God it's going to be slightly windy today, because I don't think I'm going to make it otherwise. I can't sleep in 18 degrees Celsius. Ugh. And also, as I mentioned, he doesn't actually bring up cancer research. He actually just brings up research and your blood. He doesn't, in any way, shape, or form... Like, where do you get that from? Like, what is the context cue to your character? Oh, that's cancer research. No. You can be researching blood for any number of reasons. Maybe genetic diseases. Maybe, I don't know, protein development. There's a lot you can get out of DNA. Telomeres. Maybe she wants to see how humans handle telomeres. It's also pretty important because that's how you age and die. Telomeres! They're like little... They're basically redundancies on your DNA that just slowly wear off as your DNA is used. And again, there's so many repeat words like interesting and I see, and like, I know those are like catchwords, and sure, this is conversation, but come on, you can spice things up a bit. Like, you can just add oh, like someone just being like, ugh. It just kind of it homogenizes people. If you can't carry nuance in like how someone sounds, you have to differentiate them with words. Like, yes, most people would say I see, but if you change it up, you can add some personality. You don't have to do everyone. Like, you can just have one person who, instead of saying I see, just says something else. Boom. There's a small identifying trait that keeps coming up in their conversations. Boom. That easy. Like, again, you don't have to build the Eiffel Tower as long as every street has its own sign, you know. Preferably a big one, or a couple of them. Like, TF2 has that. They have silhouettes. Character silhouettes are very strong. The personalities are very strong. Archetypes, fine. But if you make an archetype and you make him into a person, by definition, they're going to be a good character. because you know they're a person. That's like saying if you put a good engine in a car, it's a good car. Of course, that's how cars work. They have engines, and that's what they do. I mean, the engine has like 100,000 parts. There's also brakes, there's steering wheels, components, but the general point. That's. I like how your character's still like. I don't think you know. Doesn't Damien in that same conversation say, "Jesus fucking Christ, do I hate that woman?" Mm-hmm. Like, here's the thing. Don't you have an HR department or, like, some personnel division who should probably be looking into this? Like, blackmail aside. Like, for one, what does he have? But, blackmail aside, why doesn't Damien get himself out? Like, he doesn't need to work in the same lab as Anna, unless he's also doing something illegal, in which case Anna can blackmail him and the situation just gets worse. Like, you don't blackmail someone to do something illegal, you blackmail someone to get something legal and powerful that you couldn't get otherwise. Like, why doesn't he just get another lab? Like, that isn't suspicious. Some people just don't get along. Maybe he's had science, they have to, but they can still just sit in different rooms. You can still be like, listen, I'm in that room. It's so weird. Like, she's building administrator. She should have the power to just kick him off somewhere. So here's the thing, why are the rooms small? Anna is a runner and Damien stands upright. Those rooms should be built to accommodate Earth Dragons, which are pretty freaking huge. If you can fit a horse in a room, it's not small. Probably on the smaller side, but if you have lab equipment, you probably need some walkways and some... Like, it's not going to be that small. Although she has a tail, she probably smacks everything at... Like, that's the thing to consider, right? Like, runner tails are, like, at waist height. Like, they're pretty up there. They're not like most tails that are going to go down and touch the ground or something. Like, she's going to hit something with that. And I don't know how flexible they are. How flexible is, like, a raptor tail? What's the tiniest corner they could turn is the question. Because if runners need mobility, the room's going to be big. Like, dragons would never build a small room. They would never build a small room unless it's specifically for a certain kind of dragon. But they can't do that for, like, a facility like this. They can't just build small rooms. They need to accommodate giant, lumbering idiots who take space and need a lot of space to turn around. So it's incredibly unlikely the room is small, even if there's 2 people in it. Man, she's being melodramatic, ain't she? Anna does seem to be one of strong emotions. Like, she's very strong and everything, which kind of makes sense. Like, she's running out of time, she's panicking, everything is strong, everything is energized. Like, subtlety goes out the window. She doesn't have time for subtlety. Like, the funny thing about this is once you know what the context is, this line is kind of mean. Like, there's a persistence in which you know she has cancer. There's a persistence in which you know she has cancer. Also funny that the whole cancer thing doesn't come back here. Read the fucking letter and know she has cancer. Doesn't come up. Your character's just fucking stupid. It's not worth jeopardizing your health. You can't save anyone if you're dead. I'm trying to save myself, you fucking moron. If you're trying to save yourself, you're naturally going to overwork yourself. Because once you die, you're dead and you can't help yourself. Like, it's kind of a catch-22. Either you take it easy and you won't succeed and you'll die, or you overwork yourself and you don't succeed and you die. And And it's kind of weird that dragons don't care about cancer. Like, are they that likely to die of other causes? Because their medical system seems to be quite good. Maverick recovers from a bullet wound in like a day. People don't recover from bullet wounds in a day, even if they're giant dragons. Like, if they have that kind of good, that kind of healthcare, let's see, is there anyone else with a particular medical condition? Not really I can think of. Yeah, there's the medicine. Like, the little fucking girl whose mother lives in the wild, who probably doesn't have any money, has access to medicine, which she gets from a fucking supermarket with a prescription. Like, holy pachinko. That's some medical care. You can just go to a supermarket, hand in a prescription, not have any money. Or maybe she just has a little bit. But if you have a little bit, you can't afford expensive medication, so medicine's clearly cheap. Like, if that's the kind of Medicare you offer, how in God's name has cancer not come up as a problem? Are dragons just more resistant to it? Are they less likely to suffer from cancer? Because if that's a plot point, you have to establish that. Because the technology Izumi gave them, the technology they have, means they are at a point where cancer is starting to overtake most diseases. Like, heart diseases are starting to overtake most. Like, maybe they're into heart disease, you know? Then again, they're big. Do big animals suffer from more or less? I'd imagine they suffer from less, since, you know, there's no... I wonder if that scales. Do heart complications as a result of how fast your heart pumps scale up? What a question. What a fucking question, ain't it? Or maybe she just means in, like, the context of, if I don't find it, nobody will in my lifetime. Like, no one else is going to put forth the time to develop a cure for cancer, like, a couple of months. I also find it, and this is something that I just fucking hate. Anna doesn't find one. She has technology, but she can't make one. Even though the humans do, and they have it. Like, the humans have access to the cure for cancer. They just have it. They can, within a month, bloop, fix everything they need to cure cancer. Which means that shit still exists. That's fine. But why can't Anna just find it out? Because if the tech levels are comparable, like, it's implied the tech levels are very comparable at this point. Like, they're very even. Why can't she? Like, it's like... How to put this? It just feels kind of weird to have it implied to have comparable tech levels, and someone who's really fucking trying can't do it. Even though they have, like, fucking floating mega computers or something like that. Maybe it's just... I don't know, maybe... Let's see, this is what happens when my brain's tired. It starts doing stupid shit. More than usual. I have to add this because the context is a little bit sloppier. But here's the thing that gets me. Why can't no? Like, I get the point of, like, in her lifetime, but why? Like, there's got to be other dragons that are like, yes, I want to do cancer research. Like, cancer is very interesting. It is, for one, by the way, cancer is a myriad of diseases. Saying cancer is one thing is the stupidest thing you can do. Lung cancer is not throat cancer, is not stomach cancer, is not foot cancer. They're all different types. They all have different. They can be metastasis. They can be benign. They can be malignant. Your brain cancer could be in your fucking appendix. You know, like it can be and do whatever it wants. And it's all kinds of disease, and they all require different kinds of treatments, like chemo and all that. Saying there's a cure for cancer is like saying there's one way to fix a car. Whatever, it's the engine that breaks down or the wheel. You can say, get a new car. Yeah, that's a good answer. Get a new body. If that's the cure she's going for, she's going to have to grow that body pretty damn fast. The point is, if she's trying to find a cure for one type of cancer, that's not as difficult as trying to find a cure for all of it. And as someone who's been researching cancer, wouldn't Anna be like, no, it's not one... Like, wouldn't Anna be like the one person as an oncologist to say, that's not how cancer works? If you're an oncologist, you know the preconceptions of cancer, and you know what to say to that. You're going to be pissed off. It's like being a karma case. Like, oh, I know what a spark plug does. And you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, no you don't. No, you fucking don't. That's not what spark plugs do, you idiot. Also, I love how your character, at no fucking point, mentions that humans have a cure for cancer. Which is kind of a dick move. You know at this point. You fucking know. At this point, even if it's not to save Anna, why do you not mention that humans have a cure for cancer? What is your excuse? It's like if you come to that, like let's put it like this. It's that fucking Indian thing, right? Like, where the Indians, like, some guy gets a disease and, like, the Indians can save him. If you're there on, like, a sort of a semi-scientific mission, like, you're there to recover some technology. That's a scientific mission. Maybe engineer if you want to be fancy. But you're there for knowledge reasons, for learning things. You want to make those generators. Like, wouldn't you bring this up? Isn't this relevant? Like, maybe you could make the trade juicier and say, like, listen, we got a cure for cancer. We can give you the cure for cancer if you can smooth the deal up. Like, you could say to Anna, listen, we'll give you the cure for cancer. You work on those generators. Why would you not make that deal? Why would that not be a fucking deal to make? Why didn't they send the generator back already? Yet you already delivered the fucking PDAs. Why hasn't a generator been sent already? Like, humans really only need one. They only need one. It's implied that one is enough. For a lot of things, at least. It's so goddamn... Like, the plot feels like, at some place, it's arbitrary. Like, fucking what Maverick does makes sense, but it's never explained in the context that makes sense. Like, it's never explained Maverick does this because he's part of the time loop, just enough to remember everything, but not enough to be influenceable, right? Like, he doesn't change. Like, he knows what's gonna happen, and he acts on it, but he can't change it. He's not deep enough. Ugh. Interestingly enough, if Sebastian is considered a main dateable character, considering you can save his life, he also saves someone else's life. Meaning, Maverick is... Sebastian. Kinda weird. Wow. No progress, man. I'm gonna shut up. I wonder how long she's actually been working. Like, how many years in total? I like how she just changes to finish. Also, considering the fucking context cues of this, why doesn't your character figure out she might be dying? Like, the way she puts it, and the way she just looks like sad. Isn't it pretty clear she might be fighting some sort of clock? Maybe, like, not even her. She might, like, maybe you can think, oh, maybe she's trying to help someone else, right? Like, maybe it's not her that's dying. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's the one friend she fucking has. Why not? It feels so, like, this is with Lorem. But the thing with Lorem is, sure, there's a lot of points you can do some stuff, but there's never a point where I'm like, listen, you did this, but you gotta do this too, if you do that. Like, you can't just stop there. You can't make this step and then not take the other, because if you backpedal from that, like, nothing makes sense. You can't go one step forward and 2 steps back and then that makes sense somehow? No. Oh. Also, it's kind of arrogant that Anna gets... I know she's a prodigy, like, she's pretty smart. But come on! Besides that, like, there's so much to say about this. Like, she's so sad. If someone is this sad, there's probably something you should talk about. Like, I know she doesn't want to, but you have to. There's some things you just have to do. Although, admittedly, it's a date, and you're not there for that. But come on. If you're going on a date with someone, show some interest, you know? That's how people get to like you. They're like, oh man, this guy cares about me. Enough to ask about me. Got results via post. Is that even possible at this point in the game? Oh, no, it's because it's a date. You can get this in... Like, if you... Like, here. If you save Anna, just like with that fucking... which one was it Lorem? I think... Yeah, it was Lorem. Where you have to get Lorem saved and then go past a certain point so that you've already met fucking Ipsum. Here, it's... very similar. You have to beat the game in order to get the results via post without Anna being dead in the chapter in which you can get... It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, it considers these contingencies, but why does it? Oh my What? Wait. This blood work is oh, okay. Oh, I get it. The blood work is not just okay. Okay. So the blood is required not just because it gives you the results you can talk to Maverick, but because you understand its position a little better. I'm inclined to stop. It's too hot. I can't fucking do this, man. Today is not the day. I imagine the reason she had stupid blood work. It's her project. She asked for your blood. She pushed for it. She shouldn't be calling it stupid unless the test results are disappointing. Like, I imagine that she talks about this, but she's really like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't find anything. There's nothing here that says human. What did she expect to find, though? Like, you can't read, like, if they can read genetics like that, then you can stop cancer. If you can read genetics like this, and somehow apply those genetics, you've got all the fucking tools in the toolbox to start, you know, solving cancer a little bit. You're pretty fucking far, Miss Anna. If you can alter genetics, and read them, and know what the fuck those genetics do, you're very far. You're very fucking far. Which is very impressive, since between species, things work differently, very differently. I like how you discuss this on your date. Like, Anna's just like, whatever, fuck. I wish, and I do really wish, like, here's something you can do. Here's something fucking awesome you can do. At this point, you can say a little bit, and you get the baby version. Or you can be a sexy boy and say, I know a lot about genetics. And then you call up some biology expert. You call a biology expert, and you have him provide you a very fancy explanation. That's so fucking fancy that most people are like, what? Like, that's the thing. You can just call someone who knows his shit, say, listen, I want some help writing some stuff. Here's some money. Will you help me out? And here's money if you want it. If you want it, you know? Like, if you really love your job, go ahead. You'll be mentioned in the credits as, like, a contributor. And, like, people love talking about that shit. Like, if you, like, go to a fucking university and say, like, hey, listen, I need some help with this. Like, I want some interesting, smart stuff on, like, this shit. Or go and, there's a bunch of places you can go. Like, I don't think it's that hard to find someone who's like, oh man, I'm so excited about genetics. I get to talk about it. I get to write some cool stuff. And then he writes, like, a simple version. Because if you're really smart, you can explain very complex things very easily. Because you know your shit, and you know what equivalents are. Like, he'll be like, here's a simple explanation, which is, like, very baby easy. Deliciously baby easy. And he gives you a very complex one, which with other people that know about genetics are like, oh man, I feel so smart now. Oh, Anna, you're so smart. I'm gonna eat this banana. I feel so smart because I share so much genetics with this banana. And everyone else is like, ooh, I understand that. That's pretty cool. You know? Like, some people learn and some people are like, ooh, my smarts be tickled. You can do that. Just fucking do that. It's great. Like, if you know enough on your own, like, if you know enough on your own, fine. You can avoid that if it's too much trouble, or you don't know where to go, or you think it's just gonna get in the way of things, or it's gonna complicate translation and the error fixing. Fine. You can avoid it. But it's fucking cool. It's really fucking cool if you do it. Like, triple kudos points for you. Triple fucking kudos points. Sorry about that. I really should stop soon. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here. This is a good point. Yeah. Not much done today. But hey, you know, every little bit helps. If I do a sentence a day, I'm gonna get nowhere. But if I do a little bit every day, then some days, maybe I'll feel good. Like, maybe I'll be like, I'll work a little bit, and I'll be like, I'm not. No, actually, I feel like it. And I just, whoop, work off a lot, you know? I sit quietly, and I work diligently and hard. That's why you gotta draw and try every day. Maybe today will be the day you draw, you'll do nothing. That's fine. Because maybe tomorrow you do better. Maybe next week. Maybe at some point. You'll do great. And you'll be like, yeah, I'm glad I stuck with this. Because it's all the more worth it, you know? Like, you don't have to do your homework in one sitting. You can just split up and say, okay, I'll do this. Vary it up a little. Your brain loves varying shit up a little. It's like, oh my god, I can't hold this anymore. Ah! That's what your brain sounds like. It doesn't matter what your brain is, that's what it sounds like. Oh no! It's video games! I'm so distracted! Where's my dopamine? Ah!